day. Welcome to Lawyer Up by NDV Law. This is Attorney Nikki de Vega, Managing Partner of Nicolas and de Vega Law Offices. In today's episode, I will teach you how to legally move on after being abandoned by your spouse. Life is not a fairy tale where happily ever after endings abound. Sometimes we pick the wrong person to marry, and to make matters worse, our so-called forever would pack her bags or his bags and leave us. To be abandoned by a spouse is indeed a torment, which you would not even wish on your enemy. So how does one move on from abandonment? Abandonment without justifiable cause for more than 1 year is one of the grounds for legal separation under Article 55 of the Family Code. Yes, only legal separation. It must be emphasized that legal separation only allows the spouses to live separately and partition their properties. It does not dissolve the marital bonds. So, absurd as it may sound, you cannot have your marriage annulled or declared void even if your spouse abandons you. As held by the Supreme Court in the case of Republic of the Philippines versus Ensalan, sexual infidelity and abandonment of the conjugal dwelling, even if true, do not necessarily constitute psychological incapacity. These are simply grounds for legal separation. To constitute psychological incapacity, it must be shown that the unfaithfulness and abandonment are manifestations of a disordered personality that completely prevented the erring spouse from discharging the essential marital obligations. So we repeat, abandonment is only a ground for legal separation and not annulment or declaration of nullity of marriage. Don't ask us why, because we're also perplexed by how the law treats abandonment. Another remedy that the abandoned spouse can pursue is to file a petition for judicial separation of property under Article 135 of the Family Code, where the spouses have been separated in fact for at least 1 year and reconciliation is highly improbable. Lest it be forgotten, abandoned or not, property acquired during the marriage is generally presumed conjugal. Therefore, it is highly unfair if the spouse who abandoned you will partake of a share in the fruits of your hard work during his time of absence. Therefore, it is prudent to file a petition for judicial separation of property so that the conjugal properties may be divided and future assets will be governed by the regime of separation of property. In short, kanya-kanya na. Other remedies would also include filing a petition for receivership or for authority to be the sole administrator of the conjugal partnership property as spelled out in Article 128 of the Family Code. Furthermore, when the consent of one spouse to a transaction is necessary, such as, let's say, when you're selling properties, the abandoned spouse may apply for judicial authorization in a summary proceeding. If the conjugal or community property is insufficient to support the family, the separate properties of both spouses shall be liable. Pursuant to Article 100 of the Family Code, the spouse present shall, upon proper petition in a summary proceeding, be given judicial authority to administer or encumber any specific separate property of the other spouse and use the fruits or proceeds thereof to satisfy the latter's share. Remember, spouses are obliged to support each other. However, the spouse who leaves the conjugal home without just cause shall not have the right to be supported. Moving on after being abandoned by your spouse is certainly very difficult. You may not be able to get him or her back, but at least your properties are safe. If this video has been helpful, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button. You can also visit our website, ndvlaw.com, to learn more about legal matters in the Philippines. Thank you for watching.